Hello, everyone. I'm Toby Schifsky, the Executive Director of Dearborn Real Estate Education. And we are here today for a Dearborn Partner webinar. We have a very special guest today, somebody I get to work with every single day, who is one of the kindest and smartest people I know, and goes to bed with a knot in her stomach if things aren't working right. And I love that. And today she is going to share all the administrative tools and tricks you should be using for REcampus. So this is really an REcampus focused presentation today. And our guest today is none other than Kate Papke. I think many of you have probably talked to her or worked with her. If you haven't, she is, like I said, one of the most dedicated people I know and has just done a tremendous job. She's a senior client success manager, meaning that the other client success managers report to Kate. She started with Kaplan, 6 years ago, Kate?
Yeah, 6 years ago with a client success team for 3. So,
well, there you go. On the client success team for 3. The relationship, if you don't understand, client success managers, they manage the relationship with the client. So you, the client, with Dearborn after your contract is executed. So you have these great salespeople that talk to you and work with you, answer your questions, but it's really Kate and her team that kind of manage the day-to-day operations and should be the kind of go-to point person for you with questions about Dearborn and how we can help you on the day-to-day aspects, especially for REcampus. We like to be, the one-stop shop for our internal teams and for our external clients. So, Kate, thank you for being here today.
You bet. I thank you for having me.
And just so I make everybody aware, so this is going to be the Kate Papke show because she does this every day in and out of REcampus, and she's going to take you through a couple things, and we're going to leave a little time at the end for a lot of questions. And so Chris Robinson, one of those national account director salespeople, he's on here moderating today, like always. So you can always channel a question to Chris. You can always put your chat in the text chat, and we're going to try to get to them. We may answer them as we go, but we're definitely going to try to leave a little bit of time at the end to answer some of these questions because I know some people have specific things they want to cover today. So, all right, let's go ahead. Oh, and one more housekeeping thing. 30 minutes is all we got. Kate, I know we could go for hours, but this will be recorded. And you will be able to see this. It'll come out in about a week. It'll be emailed to you. And you can share it with your teams at your schools if you need somebody else to take a look at this to understand these kind of tricks and tips and tools for REcampus.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them. So we won't touch on them all today, but we'll do our best at showing you the high-level best practices, in my opinion.
Awesome. And just a quick reminder for everybody, Dearborn, we are like to be that one-stop shop. We have print books, we have ebooks, and we have online courses. So, we're supporting live in-person education all over the country again. Live online has really captured a big chunk of that market. The ebooks are a very efficient way of getting those books and content to people. And then, of course, today we're going to concentrate on our online courses and our online packages. We have some different strategies to help our partners make sure that you can, sell those courses as best as possible online. And really that platform for us is REcampus. And so, Kate, would you like to know just how many of these people on today actually are REcampus partners? I think we have some new people on here thinking about being REcampus partners. We have people who've been on REcampus for years. I'm just going to do a quick polling question. Everybody, you get to play along. I want you to not put your answer in the chat. I want you to click on your screen when I put this poll question up. And I'm going to ask you, are you currently an REcampus partner? And I'm using our platform here, and I'm going to pose this poll to you. And go ahead and answer it as quickly as you can because we want to know who we're dealing with, who we're talking to. These are all anonymous. So go ahead and click on your screen where it says, yes, I am, or no, I'm not, or hey, not yet, but please contact me about getting set up. So I know there's some of those people here too. So we're just going to take a couple seconds. Most people are put it on. Oh, by the way, if you do, this is all anonymous, right? But if you do click, we can find out who you are and we will get a hold of you. But nobody else sees your name on here. Okay. So not yet. Please contact me about getting set up. Excellent. We got a couple people in there. All right. I'm going to go find this down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to end the poll and I always share the results so you guys can all see. So about 53% of the people on are already partners. So about half. we have about 25%, 23% that say, no, I'm not a partner. And then we have 23% that say, not yet, please contact me. Well, hopefully those of you who say no, you'll want to be by the end of this. That would be great. But for those of you who already are, get ready. Take some good notes. Once again, we'll have this recording available to you. And then I'm going to ask a poll question at the end. Kate and I are really interested to see how you want to get this information going forward, right? And I'm going to ask that poll question at the end of this webinar. All right. Without any further ado, Kate, I want to go ahead and jump right in and kind of announce REcampus. And then I'm gonna hand it off to you because you're going to take us through this, okay?
Yes.
So I think everybody knows, but REcampus is a platform by which we allow you to be the school of record, right? And so we create the content. We know that the courses can be approved, but you get the courses approved. You put them on REcampus and you sell them to your students. And like a school, you have to be able to service those students when they have problems or issues, or they get stuck and, oh, I didn't get that email, or I was taking my final exam and the power went out. Is that a failed attempt? What happens, right? So you as school operators, you got all these questions. Kate knows it all. And so Kate's going to share. So Kate, without further ado, here is Kate Papke, everybody, to take us through the REcampus tricks and tips.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Toby. And I will say, I have to echo, I absolutely adore working with you. It's been, you introduced me, but I have to say, I love working with you as much as you love working with me. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
So welcome. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day. Just going to kind of go over some high level things, but know that there are a lot more tools than what I'm going to touch on. So I'm going to share my screen here and kind of show you what our portal looks like. There's an image there of that, but otherwise, this is going to be your portal. Typically, if it's your school, your logo will be here. You have a lot of different tools on the left-hand side. This navigation on the left-hand side is only visible as an administrator. So if you are not seeing completion reports, transaction reports, add student, manage student, add multiple students, or manage student group, you might not be logged in as an administrator, or you might not be set up as an administrator. So if you are not seeing these tools, and you should, please reach out to our sales ops box and we can figure out if maybe you have a different login that you should be utilizing.
Hey, and just so everybody knows, we've had partners who've been partners for like months and didn't realize they didn't have the admin tool. So if you don't have this left navigation that Kate's shown us here in the gray, the portal home, my account, completion report, transaction report, please contact, right, sales ops at dearborn.com and they will get...
Yeah, and that email address will be shared as well as a good point of contact. That is our client success team's email box. So that is going to be shared as well throughout this presentation as a really good point to contact and reach out, and we'll direct you internally. Like we said, the client success team is the point of contact, and we work with all our internal teams to get your needs taken care of. So just reach out. So I will say my favorite tool on this entire portal is Manage Student. I'm going to show that tool because you can pretty much do everything on this navigation once you have it created with this Manage Student tool. So you do have to put in, you can leave this field completely open if you want to and hit the search bar. You do have to hit this search arrow. You can't hit enter. I know I'm accustomed to do that.
So if I'm gonna pull up every student I've ever seen, I hit the search bar with no name in there, and I get the whole roster.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And so when you hit this search field, it is going to pull up everyone who's ever created an account. So keep in mind there are going to be students on here who maybe have not ordered in the past. So when you do this, I'm actually going to narrow it down because it is a large list on this demo. I'm going to do Smith, and you're going to see all these populate. It's going to show the last order date over here. And then this one actually does not have a date. So that blank spot tells me that the student has never ordered in the past.
So they have an account set up, but never ordered.
Okay. Correct. With this portal. So it would be your school of record that would have this student who has either created an account or signed into your portal that has never ordered with you. So this is a great opportunity if you wanted to market to this one student. And I will show you in just a moment how to kind of find out a little bit more detail about this student. But this tools drop down. If you can take anything away from this presentation, I'm going to tell you that this toolbar is your best friend. You are going to utilize this as something that gives you a lot of detail that you can access very quickly. So this is going to be where you can actually send an email directly from the portal to the highlighted person. So right now I highlighted the one person who does not have an order date. And I'm going to say, hey, you created an account. I'll show you where to find that in a moment. And I'm going to send this person an email right from the portal saying, hey, I see you created an account. Do you have any questions? So it's a great tool to market to students. So otherwise, to find out a little bit more about this, you will always on reports have an export feature. Excel is a great option because you can filter it by date. You can filter it by student. You can filter it by a lot of information. So you do Excel, and you are going to pull up a student list that looks like this. It's going to have the student.
So once it's uploaded to Excel, this is what it looks like.
This is what it looks like. Yep. So it's going to have the student's last name, email address, phone number if they input it when they created their account, the account creation day. So you can see these are very old account creation days because I used the last name Smith on our demo portal. So the demo portal has been around for a long time. But right here is where I can see those students that have never ordered. So this student created an account in 2013. Probably is not worth my time to reach out to them and market
Probably
to them.
in a new career by now, right?
Probably, yeah. So that's where you can kind of find, if you're pulling this report actively, and you can even filter in by the order date or something of that nature, and then change it to on your filter by the, by the account creation date. Then you can find students that maybe have created last week. And if they haven't ordered, that would be.
Well, I could limit this today. I want to see everybody who's enrolled in the last week.
On the managed student tool, you can't.
Okay.
But I will show you on the transaction and other reports how you can do the filter.
Okay.
This is just going to give you a really basic list of everyone who has ever created an account. But you could then filter it by the account creation date, pull those few students that have created recently, and reach out to them directly.
Got it. So we're managing communication, and we're managing potentially following up with these people as a lead, as in, listen, you have the account, but you didn't order. What can I help you with? What are you stuck on?
Yep,
right?
Exactly.
Very good.
So that's a great option. So going back to, I'll get a couple of reports. Going back to this, I'm actually going to put my name in it to kind of see a little bit more information about me. So I just hit enter and it didn't do anything. I had to hit the search bar.
Got to hit search. Yeah.
Oh, my session is not logged out. I apologize. Give me one moment. I apologize about that.
Yeah, no worries. So as Kate gets logged back in, there's also obviously for security reasons, the system, if you're inactive, will push you out so nobody comes along and logs into your stuff without you knowing about it.
I also have a couple of other sessions open, which can affect how it works because I have myself signed in on other screens. So that can also be a security feature.
Got it.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to Manage Student again, my best friend, put in my name, search. And from there, if you highlight any of the students on here, you can utilize the tools.
So you highlight the student, grab the tools.
Yep, exactly. And so from here, you can do a lot of different things with this student. If you want to order products, if you are logged in and as an administrator and you click this Browse Courses option or up here, you will be prompted to select a student. You cannot order anything unless you're selecting. So you can't even view the courses that you currently have unless you have a student selected because it's asking, who do you want to order this for?
Because you're an administrator. They don't think it's you buying the course for you. It's for a specific student. Okay.
You could order for yourself, but then you would select yourself as a student.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. So you can order products from here. If I were to click on this, it would go to a cart shopping experience, which we're not going to focus on today. We're going to go through admin tools.
Okay.
View student details is going to go through details about the student. You can update or edit information on here. So let's say that they said, oh, I'm going to change my my address. You can edit, make it, delete it. Email addresses you can edit, but our system won't allow you to edit it to an email address that's already in our system. So there's only one email per student. So if you get that error, just reach out to our client success team so we can assist you in getting our student accounts merged.
Yeah, so this is key, everybody. This is a sticking point. Our system uses email as the unique identifier for students. So they may be in our system from another school or another transaction in the past. And if they've used that email, that could be a problem. So
a lot of students, what we see is that they actually create an account, maybe mistype their email address and try and create another one. And they already have one in the system and it doesn't let them create a new one because they already have it. So they create.
But once again, salesops@dearborn.com, you guys fix it for them.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going back to our managed student. I'm going to get my tools up here again. And so we did view student detail, edit student detail. Student notes is an internal note system that only administrators on your portal can see. It's just a note, like if you had a conversation with a student and you want to keep track in the portal outside of your system, you can add that note saying student called and asked a question. Only administrators on your portal will be able to see those notes.
Sometimes that's very, I don't know. Obviously, we deal with a lot of students, and some students are difficult. And so sometimes it's really good to keep very good notes. And most of you probably have someplace you keep some of those notes, but you can do it right here in REcampus also, and to really kind of tie it to the student account within the electronic environment for online courses.
Exactly. So, so that's a really good one. View sent emails is something that anytime an email is sent from our system, so whether it be an account creation email or an enrollment email, you can actually see those emails that were sent directly from our system. And
so you've highlighted a student, Kate Papke,
Yep,
then you can go in and see every email that's been sent out of the system.
Exactly. So manage student tools, view sent emails.
So how many of you guys get the call from the student? I don't know how to enroll. I never got the email. I didn't see my confirmation. You can see right here every single thing that has ever been sent out.
Reset password. You can see internal orders, everything. So this is mine. So I actually have a lot of notes because my email address is tied to a lot of things. But the student would basically have access emails, and then you can actually view them and resend those emails. So I'm going to get to one that was sent more recently because these are older ones. I have a lot on here, obviously. But yeah, so you can view a sent email, and these are older. I apologize. So they're not populating, but you can resend them if it's from your account. And I'll get down to the bottom. Here we go. So this is one that was sent today. It's my enrollment email, and I can resend that email. You could also change it to yourself. If you wanted a copy of what the student was sent and you weren't copied on it for some reason, you can actually resend that email directly to yourself as well.
Got it. So it's got a resend button right in there. It looks like it must dump out of the cache after how much time? Is it 2 years?
So those were internal emails because it wasn't done through this portal. Yeah. So my email address, because I'm internal, I have a lot of email addresses that can't be seen.
But typically students will start, when you go in there on a new student, it'll have two emails, right? It'll be the account creation and it'll be the enrollment, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Very basic. And then like any emails that you send, also it does log those as sent emails. So you can see those as well. So our tech support is going to be listed in the contact us page. So when you click on this, it's going to have your school information and then the tech support details, the times, the dates, phone number, email address. So you have an option in this tools to also assist the student by sending a unlock student. So like, let's say they lock themselves out because I did it so many times. If they call you instead of our tech support, you can go in there and assist them with a few different things. If you do this unlock student, you would also want to probably send a password reset. They can also send themselves a password reset, but just to know that you have these available if for some reason they call you instead of our tech support team.
Got it.
The next thing is login as. This is a really cool tool. This is going to be log in as, and I have myself highlighted, and it's going to take you to the learning management system. So you
and why would I log in as a student, Kate?
Yeah. So let's say a student calls you as a school record and they're saying, hey, I have a question on this exam or on this quiz, and I cannot figure it out. It's going to drop you to where the student last left off, and you can see as far as the student had seen.
But you can't go forward, right? You can only go to where the student is. So it doesn't like introduce additional problems, and you don't have to talk about things forward. It's whatever the student's having a current problem with or before, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. So like a lot of people have questions on what to do for completion. Well, our completion instructions are in the learning management system. And if
they're right there at the top, right?
Yep. If you need some assistance just in your mind for a refresher and you're talking with a student, you can click on those. And the student did agree to these completion instructions when launching the course. So you can actually see what they agreed to and kind of go through those details with them if they have questions as well.
Kate, we had a question come in from Diana. Will Unlock Student allow the admin to unlock Texas students who get locked out of accounts due to biodata answers?
Yeah, that's a really tricky one. It does not. It's more of the portal unlock. So like if they lock themselves out of like the portal for resetting their password too many times.
Oh, they tried to reset it and they screwed it up.
Yeah. It's not the biodata. That is our learning management system lockout. The unlock is more for the portal level. So
the unlock is for really kind of unregulated purposes where the biodata is for regulated purposes, a different layer of security on there.
Exactly. Yeah. So the portal is what you have the ability to unlock. So if they're locked out of the portal itself, not the learning management system, which is
good to know. Good distinction. Yes. Thanks, Diana.
I will also show you guys what it looks like. I have a student example if we have time for the Q banks, the question banks. So we'll go through these reports here in just a moment, but it is going to be something that if you pull in a completion report, if it's not a regulated course, it's not going to show on that as completed. So if you really want to see what a student has done in like a Q bank or an exam prep tool, you can do it a couple different ways on the enrollment report, but if you log in and that person has a Q bank, you can actually see what that student has seen, their questions that they've gotten right.
You can see their progress. You can go to the table of contents. You can see exactly how far they've spent in each of those.
And I will say, when in doubt, if a student is kind of stuck in this kind of realm and they don't know where to go, the home icon in the top right-hand corner is going to take them back to every course that they're currently enrolled in. So a lot of times when you're in a course, you may not realize that there's that home icon that take you back to the main screen where you can see all of your courses.
Got it.
So,
all right. So I think you made a big distinction. So we're going to be able to do what's called a completion report to see who's completed and who hasn't, right? Where are they at in the courses? But the real distinction that you just made was that works for courses that have regulatory approval. The way our system works is that you have to have a regulatory approval for us to be able to, ding the bell. They've completed their final exam or they completed all the required coursework. It dings the bell and then it shows up as completed in our system.
Exactly.
Professional development or exam prep is not a regulated course. We want them all to take it, but nobody's stopping them and nobody's forcing them to take it. So
there's nothing to say you're completed because it's a tool. You can utilize it as long as you have access. Exactly.
Very good. All right. So let's see the completion report.
So I am just going to show one other thing before we move there. So you can look at these reports within this tools dropdown specifically for the student that you have highlighted. An enrollments report is going to take you to what the student is currently enrolled in and where you can see a lot of detail about that student and their enrollment. So when you get to this screen, and this is just pulling for this one student as an example. We have 5 minutes, so I'm going to go through it as quickly as I can. You can request a refund and you can request extensions on this enrollment screen.
So I want to get an extension or request a refund. I have to go to the enrollment report. Is that correct?
Correct. For that,
there's no left-hand nav that says enrollment report, nothing that says refund extension. You have to know to go to the enrollment report, which gives you a status. Yep. Right? Because it tells you the enrollment date, the expiration date, all that kind of stuff. right? Yeah, there.
Yep. And then they request extension. So keep in mind, these are manually done by our team. So they're not an immediate extension or immediate refund request. Our team is actually going to review policies. And if you request a refund, you actually can see our terms and conditions. You set your own terms and conditions as a school of record, but then there are Dearborn terms and conditions, which states it must be with the original enrollment period and it must not be a completed course. So our team reviews those. And we also do extensions based on state regulations. So if it's outside of policy, our team will go back to you and say, I apologize, this is out of policy. So it is a manual process.
I mean, when you say out of policy, let's say you're in North Carolina and somebody says, hey, I want to extend my licensing course. I don't know if everybody knows. If you're not from North Carolina, you probably don't know, but you can't extend a licensing course in North Carolina. You get one shot at it, done. You got to start over with a new enrollment. So,
exactly.
So somebody might request or something, and or a state might have a certain amount of extension time. Our team has to review all of those. So
exactly. We want to make sure that you're within policy of the state as well. So it's for your benefit that it is not immediate as well. And then keep in mind also, this does not show omit, but if a student, let's say their power goes out in the middle of the exam, you as a school of record have the authority to omit that attempt. We do say use that with a grain of salt because they are going to get the exact same questions. So if they've seen 99 out of 100 questions, they're going to get that same test. So really keep in mind, and you can ask our sales ops at dearborn.com for an exam report of what that student has seen. So you can cover your answer to the state if they ever say, why did that student get a second attempt? But there is an option right here that says omit, and you can omit that attempt if you so need.
Got it.
So that's that. We have a few minutes. So I'm just going to go through the reports really quickly. Keep in mind, this is where the filter you mentioned, Toby, comes into play. You can filter by subject, completion dates, enrollment dates. We can do any of that. So we're just going to do in completion dates. We're going to do this month for this site. So it's going to pull that up. And then from there, there's nothing because this is the demo portal. So we'll just do that. This open-ended. From there, you can export it. And I do have an example. We're short on time, so I'll go right to that. So this is the completion report. It's going to show the students customer ID, order number, the enrollment date, the access date, if they're pending. So this completion report, keep in mind, is only going to be regulated courses, and it's going to show whether the student is pending or completed. So if they're pending, they may not have signed their enrollment agreement or the affidavit. So that's a good time where you would utilize the login.
Now, you see pending, that means the student has like one step to do. Something's hung them up, right?
Exactly. And you can log in as a student to see what they're viewing, to see where they're at. So that's a great tool. And it goes over, shows you all the information you would need to report to the state if there's any requirements.
So real quick. So this is the completion report. There's also an enrollment report, right? Like who's enrolled in the last week. So I know we got a bunch of business owners here, and they're going, how do I manage my business? I want to know how many people are enrolling. I want to know how many people are completing, right? And so how do you do that?
So this is an enrollment report. This is going to show you the enrollments. You can click from here, the student as well. But then if I export it to Excel, it's going to look like this. And this is going to tell you these Q banks. It's going to tell you whether or not they've started them, their last access date, kind of where they ended up. So all these students have not started, but it would tell you the last part that they've completed. It tells you all of that information. And I got
an interesting bit of information. How about this? In fact, you guys can just drop it into the chat real quick. How many of you have students who buy courses from you and never show up to the course? Anybody else see that? I mean, they'll spend hundreds of dollars and they never even open a single course. They just like fade away. Their enrollment expires after 6 months. I have a number. I'm going to share a number with you from Kaplan. Look at Diana Holmes. Yes. Maurice. Yes. Isn't it crazy? I'll tell you this. We see as much as 6 to 8%. Oh gosh, COVID deaths, Scott. Oh boy, I hadn't thought about that. But I mean, these are people that haven't even opened the course though. But yes, I was supposed to, at some point somebody may die. But we're seeing like 6 to 8% of the people never open a course. It's crazy. I mean, it blows my mind. Hundreds of dollars. Kate, we got like a minute and a half left here. And what can we talk about in a minute and a half? What else you got for us?
So really, I just wanted to let you know all the tools that are available here. We have some videos that we can share with you that are pre-recorded of this detail from our team. And I know we can drop those in the chat box here if we want to go ahead and do that. It goes over a lot of what I've shared with you. We do also have the transaction report, but always keep in mind, any of these reports can be exported to Excel. And from there, you can always click on a student and get more detail about them. So if you can get to the tools drop down.
You know what, Kate? I'm gonna ask everybody here. You're not gonna get off this easy. I want to ask everybody this polling question: would having access to a video demonstration of the administrative tools that are used on your portal, would that be helpful to you? Having a succinct little video for each of those tools or big categories of those tools, would that be helpful for you to have that?
Look at all these yeses.
Woo! Yes. How about no thank you? Nobody said no thank you. How about this? I would rather attend a monthly live online admin training session. That's also a possibility. Go ahead, put your answers in. Like I said, they're all anonymous. And then also, we did just drop the video. I'm going to go ahead and share these results. We also just dropped the video addresses in the chat. All right. So that will give you access for information on a billable portal. And then we also have it for the e-commerce admin portal, which is your typical REcampus portal. We have two types of REcampus portals. One is the students pay, and the other one is a billable portal where you collect the money, and then we settle up at the end of each month on a billable account.
Yep.
A lot more involved there. Pretty sophisticated businesses usually that use that, but two different types of videos there and two different types of admin tools available. So, Kate.
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you for being here. I know we're out of time. I know people have way more questions. I love that. Here's the thing, everybody. This video is going to come out in about a week. It'll be there for you, and you can use it with your teams. Also, Kate Papke and the other CSMs are always available at salesops@dearborn.com. You can contact them at any time. They answer questions all day long. This is what they do. And it helped make you bigger, faster, smarter, stronger at your business. It's an awesome tool, and you can get a lot out of this tool. Clearly, you can use it to run a school, at least for your online education. So, Kate, I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Toby.
All right. Thank you, everybody.